Hello and welcome to my first tutorial for the Skyrim creation kit. Sorry, my name is Dagus and I usually frequent the Skyrim Nexus forums. In today's tutorial, we will be going over creating a companion follower and also adding him or her to a faction and creating a custom outfit using the game's inherent base armors. Right, first off, as always, click on File, Data, then make sure Skyrim.esm is checked. Update ESM is an optional extra. Obviously, it has no real impact on the character creation, but you know, if you solidly want to make it, let's say 1.6 compatible, then double click on that, and then go and press OK. And obviously, after a fair while, once your creation kit has decided to load the program, the database, sorry, you want to click on yes to all when it pops up. Obviously I've skipped all that because I'd rather not wait. When it's all fully loaded and you press yes to all to everything, you want to go ahead and click on actors and actor, and in this box area you can click anywhere you wish and just make sure you right click new. Sorry. Oh, there we go. Right, first of all, what you want to do, you want to give an ID for your character. This ID number or word or what have you is works in conjunction with the game, the creation kit. It's not what's shown on screen. That's for the name and the short name. So ID can be anything. So for this, I'm going to put AA test companion. Using the AA or AAA, AA or what have you, just makes the name come higher up on the list, so it's easier to get to for those lazy people out there like myself. And I'm going to call him Daganus the Great because I'm feeling fairly narcissistic as usual. And for the short name, you just want as Daganus. The normal name will show up when you hover over a character in game as if you're walking by them, and the short name is when you're talking to them in dialogue and for scripting purposes and what have you. Now in this little box area you have all these different tick boxes. The only really essential one you want to use is unique. You can use essential. Essential makes them, well, essentially makes them immortal. When they get down to really low health or 0 HP health points, they will still kneel on the ground and act injured for 30 seconds to a minute or however long it takes. Protected works in the same instance as essential, but is killable by the player only, whereas essential is the NPC cannot die. So for this tutorial I'm just going to make him essential, and for the race I'm going to be working with a Nord because I like the Nords. And voice types, right, when it comes to voice types, this is quite important. There's only a select few voice types in this game that actually are companion friendly. I'm not 100% sure which ones are, which ones not, but I'm pretty sure the obviously male dark elf, male high hofty, or however you say it, male even toned, male toned accent, male guard, and the male types, except for, I don't believe Nord Commander is, but anyway. Anyway, you can go through and see which ones work and which ones don't. If they don't work, your companion cannot be recruitable in game. It just won't come up with that message to follow them. But for a fact, male Nord does work. Now for this disposition base, you want to, Bethesda have advised 75 minimum. I'm not sure what it quite does. I haven't really looked into it that much. I'm just going through what I know works. So for the time being, I'm just going to put 80 just to be safe. And now I'm going to press OK, because if you go onto the next tab or click out or what have you, some of these things change and get unchecked and what have you. So I'm going to press OK. I'm going to save it. You want to save really quite on a regular basis, because the game has a habit of screwing you over if you're not paying too much attention. So I'm just going to call this character Daganus Companion. I'm going to make several tutorial series. I'm going to go over, obviously, in this tutorial, creating a companion, creating a dungeon, nav meshing, lighting, FX, traps, and what have you, and maybe even combining mods as well, because I know that's a bit of a tricky step for some people. I'd like to do what I can to help. So I've saved it there. I'm going to go back to my AA test companion, and there we go, everything's set in place. If you want to see your character in this area, you just press preview, yes to all, and there's your Nord. He's got the grey face bug, lucky me. And if you want to just see the head, you just click on head and it'll come up there. But we're just going to be working with the main body for now. Right, click on the stats tab. Now on the leveling data, on this level here, 1, that's the level obviously the NPC is going to be. If you want your companion to level up with your character, let's say you reach 20, you want your companion to be 20, so it will do this automatically via PC level bolt. Now the calc min and calc max is the minimum and maximum levels your characters can be. So I'm going to put a minimum 4 to help you out, you know, when on your low levels. But I'm going to make him level 80 as a max level. So if you use a variety of mods out there, for example, Ultimate Follower Overhaul, I believe it's called, you can find on the Skyrim Nexus forum. Skyrim Nexus database, sorry. You can have more than one companion and up to 15 at any given time, I do believe it is. And so just imagine you've got 15 characters, you're all a level 100 and you're fighting. They'll pretty much kill everything for you. You don't really want that, because it sort of takes the edge and fun out of the game. So you want support and help, but you don't want them to play the game for you, as it were. So I'm just going to put him as level 80. Health offset. Now this is obviously the base health here. Here, 50, and the calculated health is obviously the health added per a little bit in increments per level. So this is obviously health offset. If you want to add more health to your character, this goes for magicka and stamina as well. Let's say 50 extra health to make him a little bit more resilient. Obviously the calculated health is higher, so the character is stronger. Now if you want to decrease the health to make him less resilient and a bit weaker, maybe you like to play a more realistic game where 1 or 2 hits kills you or what have you, that's entirely up to you. You go ahead and press the minus key, obviously for a minus number, and let's say minus 50, and that just tab out and tab back in there, and obviously you've got calculated health of 33. For the instances of this tutorial, I'm just going to use the base stats for that. Speed. Now, a lot of mod creators out there for companions, this is sort of a schoolboy error, as it's usually referred to. They leave the speed at 100, which is by all means a rookie mistake. What you want, when it's at 100, that's obviously the base speed for all companions and NPCs and what have you. And you often find out when you're running about with your companions, you stop, you look around, and your companions aren't there. And it may take them 10-20 seconds to catch up with you. This is because their default speed is set quite low. What you want to do is set this to a number like 125. That's the one I use. It usually means the companion won't fall behind or fall behind as often. In my experience, he or she pretty much sticks to your heels, if not just a little bit further, but it speeds up the companion, but it doesn't make it unrealistic. It's barely even noticeable, to be honest. And class, what I'm going to do, you want to use the combat, type in combat, you want to use this list here. I'm going to go with combat warrior two-handed because I'm feeling like making sort of a barbarian type-esque character. Right, factions. I'm going to go over factions, creating a faction a bit later, but for now what we're going to do is just add the 2 essential ones we need. So if you're in this box area, you right click new, type in current, and you want current follower faction, press OK. Again, right click new, this time you want to write potential, just write potential and potential follower faction. Now if you want to make a character marryable, all you have to do is place combat marriage faction. combat marriage faction, sorry, potential marriage faction. Although most marriages are combat.